What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Kyrie,
It's your boy Andy.
and welcome to another wonderful episode of What's the Point?
That wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. I think repetition helps the soul.
We're getting it. We're getting there.
I think I'm more positive about it than you are.
Lies in deceit.
Anyway, so
Moving on.
welcome to another wonderful show, everybody. Today we have a really great episode because we have two guests on today. Today, the topic of the show is going to be gays in the music industry, primarily focusing on hip hop and R&B. And we also are going to be getting a perspective from one of our producers. So let's go ahead and bring them on. You know them, you love them. Shazam and King Carnage, baby.
What up, though?
What up, though? Times two.
All right. How you guys feeling?
I'm good. You?
Oh, baby.
Making it work in the land of Trumptopia.
That's another episode. Shout out to the people who are marching today, and shout out to those who are staying home. Hey, those that want to get out and fight for our country, I support you 100%. And those that want to stay home, I support that 100% too. Hey, do what you feel, baby.
Real quick, wasn't it something to where they was saying, um, um, yeah, stay at home?
So with the march that's happening today in Washington, D.C., the 92%, 80% are essentially telling our own to stay home. This is not our fight because, we didn't vote for the big orange man in office. So
Okay.
Let's reel it back to the topic.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just giving Eric
Back
context.
to gays and
Yeah.
It's an
Continue with
offline conversation.
continue with the opening of the show.
Yes. So back to what we were talking about. So, yes, today's topic is going to be gays in the music industry. Primarily, we're going to be discussing from the perspective of R&B and hip hop. And we're also going to get the perspective of one of our producers, King Carnage, who is a rapper himself. So, we're going to be throwing some questions around. It's going to be like a roundtable type of discussion. And let me go ahead and get ready to bring our artist on stage. Please welcome to the wonderful show, Intell and Nappi Devi.
What's going on, folks?
Hello, sir. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed to be here, man. I can't complain. How y'all doing?
All right, we are missing an individual here.
Because you were only supposed to introduce one.
Yeah, you was
How
supposed
we want to bring them on together?
No, we didn't discuss that. We said what
told you we was going to introduce Bone and Tail first, and Nappy Devi second.
Juan.
No.
All right.
No. Anyway, hello, Bone. How are you? Welcome.
I am all right.
Welcome.
Thank you.
As you see, my team throws me under the bus. They don't tell me nothing.
You know what? It sounds like love to me.
Show started.
It sounds like love to me.
Alphabetical order. Remember that?
No. I remember nothing you're talking about. Anyway, how you doing, Bone? What's going on, big guy? So look here. Thank you for being a part of our show. And I am so happy that you agreed to do this. You and I have been friends for a very, very long time, and I have been a fan of your music for a long time.
Thank
you. I am very glad that we get this opportunity to talk about what you have experienced in the music industry and also what you're doing now as well. I think your perspective will be a really good one.
Most definitely. And I thank you for just allowing me to come on your platform and, be able to voice my opinion in the game and things of that nature. So, like, big respect to you, big blessings to the team. And what's the point, y'all? What up?
Find out shortly.
Y'all didn't start it off. Okay, so now bring on our next guest. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Please let's introduce and give a warm welcome to Nappi Devi. Hello, sir.
Hola, señorita.
I feel bonita. How you doing?
I'm okay.
So
I'm glad that the camera light on me because I've been trying to straighten my head this whole time. I don't know if nobody can see that, but I'm such like it has to look like okay, it's right now.
I think it does. I think it looks good. As with Bone, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. The whole team appreciates it. And we look forward to hearing your perspective being, saying a gay artist, in the music industry, and what you have experienced, and also, what you have going on as well. We want to hear about that too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
All right, so now that we've gotten all that wonderfulness out the way, I want to throw, excuse me. I want to throw things to my wonderful co-host. Don't do that. Don't do that. Your face like that all the time, yeah. Right now. Anywho, I want to throw things to my wonderful co-host Timmy, who's going to start the rounds of questions that we have. Homie, take it away.
Thank you, thank you. So I do have a question for both of you, just so that the viewers can kind of see, um, or gather a little more insight about both of you. So I'm gonna shoot it to you first, Bone, but the question is for Nappy Devi as well. So I just want to know um, where you grew up, who inspired you, and well, no, where you grew up, what led you to music, and who inspired you when you decided to start doing music.
All right. So where I'm from, I'm born and raised originally from Buffalo, New York. Shouts to 716. You know what time it is. East side, what up? Um, the secondary question, um, I don't even know how to get into it, man. What inspired me to get into music, right? That was the secondary question. Um, Honestly, coming from like a gospel background, I don't know if any of y'all familiar with gospel, but the Williams
I think we all
sisters,
grew up in the church, honey. I
True.
believe.
true indeed. So the Williams sisters is my aunts. Those is my aunts. So I grew up like starting music in the church, playing the drums and stuff like that. So that's how I found my first love for music. Um, as far as hip hop and my first love for hip hop, as far as like what brought me to hip hop, honestly, them lunch ciphers in high school, man, and grammar school. If any of y'all know about that, y'all remember what going to the lunchroom and beating on the table and freestyling with your
Yes.
folks. You feel me? So like those was my foundations. That's how I found my love for hip hop, and it just started to grow from there, man. Them
Yeah,
lunchtime tables.
yeah.
Any artists that you were inspired by?
At that time,
Right.
being in high school, I was definitely I didn't know about myself yet, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But my favorite artist that I was rocking with at that time, I was like a big fan of Big Pun and Big. You know what I mean? People like that. I was listening to folks like that.
When you say you didn't know about yourself, you mean you didn't know that you were gay at that time? Is that what you
At
mean?
that, yeah, correct. Yeah, at that time, yes.
Okay. Devi, off to you, my friend.
What's up? Um, I'm born and raised from Detroit, Michigan. East side to be exact.
Detroit.
You feel me? No. What got me into music though was like just dealing with things at home, ups and downs, trauma, bullshit. And I got into like writing poetry to try to express myself, find different ways to cope and to deal with certain things that was going on in my life. My teacher actually introduced me into poetry and stuff. I was like, this is a good way to actually kind of relieve and get your mind through things. And when I was like, I want to say, I don't remember what age I was, but I know it was like between seventh to eighth grade, middle school. My stepdad at the time, he introduced me to Eminem. He was like, one, the nigga told me he was in the 8 Mile movie, and he was in the background. He was a background character, and I saw him clear as day. And it's bad because I didn't even like this person. Like it was like, nigga, you just a stepdad, you ain't my dad. But no, it was cool. It was cool because he introduced me to like Eminem. He gave me like one of his, I think it was the Marshall Mathers LP, and that's when I kind of got into hip hop, and that's when one of my friends from school, I went to Osborne my ninth grade year, and I used to like share my rhymes with bro. We was going through the whole moment where niggas be freestyling in class and people beatboxing on the table. So that was always there. But as I just started to like share my rounds with my best friend around that time, his name was Adam. He passed away though. Like the next year when I left, he passed away 10th grade year, and this was ninth grade year. And he was just telling me like, bro, like you dope, bro, you fire, bro. Just you gonna kill people though. Like you won't kill nobody, you ain't murder nobody. This sound like Eminem. And I'm like, that was inspiration for sure. So he was like, yeah, just kind of make it your own. And that's what I did. I just kind of took a little bit from like the Andre 3000s, the Kendrick Lamar's, the storytellers, the J. Cole's, the underground artists. Shit, Big Sean at the time too when he was coming out with Finally Famous and his LPs before that. Yeah. So
Just a quick
Okay,
aside.
I do.
Hold on. Just a quick aside. Um, Me and Carnage were listening to your first. No, it's not your first. I think it might be your second one, the Forgotten EP. The song "Aggressive," if I ain't mistaken. Is that written in the style of Eminem?
yeah, it
It
was.
kind of gave us those vibes. So
You going off of like a lot of my older stuff, like if you because you I remember you mentioned earlier that you were going. I was listening to the music from SoundCloud. I got a lot of stuff that isn't on SoundCloud. But yes, the Forgotten EP. I put that EP out after I haven't put music out in a while, and it was like I felt forgotten at a point. So I put out the Forgotten EP, and this is like when I first had my first apartment. I was staying on the Roseville and shit, and that was kind of cool. And I started with working with this cat. He stayed over like not too far from me. And this before I was driving and everything. I just got the bus to this guy's house to record it, and I dropped Sorry Volume One, Volume Two, and I think the Forgotten EP was like the gap in between. Like, so, okay, like I'm fresh out the mud or whatever. Like, I kind of wanted to talk my shit again. And it was like after I don't know, going through like so much. Like, I think that project itself was like me expressing myself from going through like trauma, mental health, and shit, and like burning bridges with people. So it was like shit, the forgotten. Like it's like if I had a moment where I forgot about myself, but also I felt like I was forgotten by everybody else. So I just put that up. And aggressive was like my shit talk. Like I'm one of the hardest out. Like you can't fuck with me. Like it's just kind of a stand my ground. Like I know I'm good at what I do, so I can talk my shit. That's why it was like passive aggressive. And a lot of people don't know. I was told I was passive aggressive by somebody like I think it was like a therapist around that time. They was like you ready, like they were like telling me that I was passive aggressive. So I named the song. It was like passive. Then the next song aggressive.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next question to keep this thing bumping. But I love that answer though. That was some deep shit.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I didn't mean to make it too long.
You fine. You good. You
We're
good.
talking the podcast. Talk, boy.
Kind of right, but now wait. I have a follow up question. I just want to point out that, and not to age anybody or anything like that, but so Bone and Nappy are really two different generations of rappers. So I want to ask one more question, then I'll let somebody else ask a question. But this kind of coincides with what y'all were just talking about. In regards to like putting your music out, um, how hard was it to put the music out, like the expense? And I feel like for you, Bone, you were coming up more in a time where it was maybe not as easy to put music out because you didn't have all these streaming platforms. So I kind of just want to hear what that experience was for you and then what it was for Nappy Devi.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For myself, man, putting out music, yeah, at that point in time, we didn't really have the availability of like the streaming platforms, the playlisting, things of that nature in order to help push the music. It was really grassroots and the use of forums and stuff like that in order to market and push the music. Um, but excuse me, it was definitely expensive and it definitely was hard to put out there. You definitely had to keep yourself um, around like-minded individuals in order to keep yourself pushing, just because as a artist who is openly out about their sexuality, trying to push music, a lot of people come at it with defenses up. So
Thank you. I just want I wanted to give a perspective to other artists who might be trying to come up now and to just know what the perspective is and how it is to kind of try and even put your music out. So,
most definitely, you
um,
definitely got to have thick skin to do it.
right. And Debbie, what about you?
I would say for me, when it comes to when it came to put my music out in general, like it wasn't too complicated because of the era that we're in now. Like we got Fruity Loops, GarageBand, a couple other. I think what is another one? I don't know all of them, but a lot of
Logic,
things, huh? Logic, yeah,
logic, yeah.
like a couple other. There's a lot of other ones too. But these are platforms where people can actually engineer and produce the music right away. Just take time and effort to put it in. But it's just a different time space, like you said. It's a different time zone, like not time zone, but it's a different timing, like internet and technology has came a long way from just doing samples. Now you can create a sample with just getting like a sample box or something like that, like just purchasing some type of little gadget, and it'll come with samples for you. So it's like it's definitely a different timing. Like all you got to do is know the right person who create a studio. He'll charge you like $50 an hour, or 25 or 30 or 70, depending on his quality or his what he feel like his worth is. And there's an album if you put the work in.
All
I
right.
just and that was my thing. I just wanted to point out how much easier with the internet and all these streaming platforms and everything, how much
Yeah.
easier it is to
And
put yourself on versus maybe what Bone went through.
yeah,
Because if you're of a certain age, it was hard to get put on if you weren't on a label or somebody wasn't backing you. It
well,
was much
it's so crazy because now it's like we have platforms where you can just pay $20 a year, and it would just be you can put your music on like all platforms like
You're
Spotify
not
and
invest.
DistroKid. Like for an example, you can just that's a distribution company that allows you to put your music on like Spotify and Apple. It's like one of the biggest distribution companies at this time because they do it. They technically do it for free because how cheap it is yearly to put your music on. But it's also kind of difficult at the same time because now you have millions. If I was going to say thousands, if not millions, of people putting music
out.
out. Yeah, so now it's such a large trajectory of music. It's like you don't, it's hard to get that screenplay, that screen time. It's hard to catch viewers' ears. So it's a
So,
broken but
quick,
that's all
quick
I'm saying.
question.
The
Sorry.
spotlight. I was just gonna, oh, you can take it over. Hold on. I just was gonna say that I feel like it is the difference in maybe when Bone was coming up is that artists had a much more specific spotlight put on them when you were able to get your music out versus now because everybody can put music out now, and so it's
Right.
harder to have a light to shine because so many people and there's so many artists, and it's so hard to keep up with who is hitting it and who should I be checking for because there are so many the music
It's so
is
vast now.
is so saturated with so many people that are good, but it's hard to keep up with who's good and who's not because there are so many ways to listen to music now.
So
But
can
that's it. I
can I
want
ask a question of
By
the
all means.
team for a moment?
Yeah.
So like I'm just curious as myself. I'm an '80s baby. You feel me? So
Same
for
here.
me, when I found out about out or gay artists, it was surprising to me. Do y'all remember who the first person that y'all knew was an openly out artist? And
Sylvester.
who were they? For me, mine's was Caution from New York City. I don't know if y'all know who that is,
I
but
don't.
Caution was one of the first hip hop dudes. Used to run with like Onyx and stuff like that, who was open
uh,
about who they
uh,
was.
I definitely know who Caution is, and I think that was my first artist. But I got a question for Hemi and Kyrie.
Yes.
Um, y'all want to ask any questions to the other artists that y'all got on the
That.
You could have chimed in at any point. I mean, but we have guests.
My apologies.
You
No,
are a
my
producer.
apologies, Carnage.
You could have just spoken at any point. I don't know why you were sitting here quiet.
Nope. I take that. I take that on, Carnage. It was. I'm so used to you just being the producer. My apologies.
Right, like I really figured you would just talk.
I know.
No, but I didn't ask him specifically, so
Right.
I take that on. Carnage.
We're
Let
used
me
to
ask
him.
you. Let
Yeah.
me ask you. Where'd you grow up? What brought you to music, and who inspired you to become
Not
a
you
rapper?
giving him the actual question.
I so apologize. My fault.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Well,
We know where you grew up.
so
The
I don't
audience, the viewers don't.
um um anybody that know me know where I grew up from, but due to the people who don't know, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? What brought me to music? So I was a church boy in the beginning, like or whatever. But I kind of got out of that when uh, my grandmother died, which was like 10 years old or whatever. Um, I went out of the church. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother died, and I started cussing. So that will show you how much I was into my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, um, so I um I I was into what my mother was into at first. She was into Mariah Carey, Two Live Crew.
Honey. No daddy
Look,
Lil kind to make you shake that ass, baby.
so
Come
So your
on
mom has
now.
some whole tendencies. Okay, all right.
yeah. So yeah,
Come on up and stick
I
that
got
thing. Come on up and stick that through it. But
I got my whole tendencies from my mother. Like,
honey, didn't we all, honey?
I don't think she wants to own that.
uh,
Somebody send this link to his mom.
Mama Carnage, was you shaking that thing? Was you shaking that thing?
Yeah, Mama Carnage gonna get you, bro. You might need to pull back off of that.
Mama
oh
Car just sounds
no,
vicious. Oh my god.
no, she would definitely was that Mama Carnage. You fuck with her baby, and she is
She got it. She
transformed
got
into
it popping.
Mama Carnage. Anyway, um, so I was listening to what my mother was listening to at first, but the first album I bought, no, the first album that was given to me was uh a vinyl, two vinyls. MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This,
Can't touch this. Come on.
and um
That song was about his dick.
wait, what?
Moving on. Continue, Carnage. Everything is about sex with this co-host. Well, come
Look,
on,
honey,
Carnage.
I've seen and heard that thing is a
I didn't know
monster,
that.
honey.
Anyway,
Let's not talk about the pumps in the bump video.
I was
Anyway,
ready to go there, honey. I was ready to go there. Pumps in the
Uh,
bumps, honey. Pumps
Would
in the
y'all let him
bumps.
finish? Would
I'm
y'all let
sorry.
him
Go ahead,
finish?
Carnage. I'm so sorry.
and Run DMC, um not Down Be the King. What was the before that? It
Walk
was
this
it was
way.
it was the Run DMC album or
You talking
whatever.
about walk this way?
no, the very first album.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah. I
You
looked
talking
it
about the Run album?
up. Was what was the Run album? Um,
John, you talking to you, big guy?
My fault. It was going in
The
and out.
first album was called Run DMC.
Yeah, the Run album.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
there
yeah,
you go.
okay, yeah, yeah. That was the
Come
album.
on, Google.
Um, so anyway, that was my first introduction given to me as far as hip hop, and I took it one way, the Run DMC era and the MC Hammer era, and I kind of combined it the two. You know what I'm saying? Not so much as the dance or whatever, but um, kind of combined the two as the content or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So then, how? I don't mean to cut you off. But I want to throw this question to you. So if that's where you got started, how did Bone Thugs come into play? Because Bone Thugs is very rooted into not just who you are as like you're a humongous fan of theirs, but it's also a part of your flow and style in some of your raps. You do draw a lot of influence from them. So where did they come in?
So I was about to get to that, but fast forward. So my mother was going to a store or whatever, and she asked what I want or whatever, and just randomly I said, "Can you give me a Bone Thugs album?" You know what I'm saying? Because I knew they sold that at the store. It was bootleg. But
Back in the day, they always bootleg, honey.
yeah, but I said, "Can you give me a Bone Thugs album?" And it was the first album that they had, "Creeping on the Come Up." You know what I'm saying? So, and apparently she got it for me, and um, I got lost in the Bone Thugs world. Uh, every Bone Thugs album or whatever I had to have or whatever. I was writing stuff down, paused it, write it down, um, play it, uh, decipher it, pause, write it down. Like, yeah, that's how. And I was like 14 because that's when the first time I started smoking.
Mm,
So
okay,
What had
so
to do with the music.
huh?
But that's what made you remember.
No, no, that's um. So the first time I started smoking is the first time I got into bone because yeah, that yeah, um, yeah.
Got
um,
you, got
okay, so switching gears, I have a couple of questions I want to throw, and this is for all three artists on the panel. You like I said panel, right? Make it all discussion. Like, yeah, all right. Okay, so I do want to start in order. We're going to start with Bone, and then we're going to swing to Devi, and then we're going to come back to Carnage. Uh, question is this: the hip hop industry has long been a hyper masculine industry. Okay. And at times has been unwelcoming to the LGBTQ artists that have tried to get into this industry. Now, as folks that embrace or have embraced this at one point or another, how have you navigated the stereotypes and what challenges have you faced?
Hmm. Navigating stereotypes.
Want me to read it again or you good?
Say that again.
Want me to read it again or you good?
Go ahead. Speak it
'Cause it was
again.
a big question, so I'm just saying.
Yeah, go ahead. Speak it again real quick.
All right, so the hip hop industry has long been hyper masculine, and at times has been very unwelcoming to the LGBTQ artists that have tried to break into the industry.
Hmm.
Now, as those of you who have embraced this, who have embraced the rap culture, how have you navigated the stereotypes of it, and what challenges have you faced while navigating it?
Challenges I face while navigating the hip hop world. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, everybody don't want to suck the other artist's dick. I hate that freaking stereotype, bro. So many people have that preconceived bull crap in the back of their head, thinking that because as an artist I'm gay, we in the studio together, and because I might throw a look your way, you thinking I want to suck your dick or fuck you or something like that. Like that shit is annoying. So navigating that to show people like, look, every gay dude ain't just about sex or no BS like that. Pretty much just came to show and improving and just showing through integrity and walking in my authenticity, pretty much.
Mhm.
You know?
Okay, so Devi, let's go with you. So I'm gonna read the question again. Like I said, I know it was long.
No, you good.
So again, in the hip hop industry, it has always been a hyper masculine industry, right? So, and at times it has been unwelcoming to LGBTQ artists who are trying to get into the industry. So, now having embraced that and understanding that, how have you navigated those stereotypes, and what challenges did you face as an artist in the industry?
You want my honest answer?
Of course. If you haven't had it, cool. If you have,
Everybody gay. No, I'm playing.
I think that. I really do think that.
Look, I think everybody got a little sugar in their tank. No, but I think coming up in the city in Detroit, it's very hard to kind of like express yourself if you going maybe in certain areas, like in certain community spaces, you can kind of be your full authentic self in your artistry for some people,
Hmm.
but not in every space you can particularly be yourself. Me personally, I never out loudly said anything like in my music. Like, okay, for instance, I left breadcrumbs like um aggressive. Like I said, I follow you because you're my prince. Wait, I mean my princess. Like I was doing that just to be like, because I believe sexuality is a spectrum. Like I don't believe in sexuality, period. Like it's not a real thing. It's like to put somebody in a label. Like, oh, you're a dog. You belong to dogs. You're a cat. So you're with the cats. Black, white, bro. You're human. So I always left breadcrumbs in my music. Like I made a song about weed. I made a song about marijuana. It was like a love song called Purple. And going into that type of space, I use the many men, many, 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 many men have mercy on me. No, I don't cry no more. I don't look to the sky no more. But that was me sharing my sexuality, leaving the breadcrumbs like many men.
Hmm.
So yeah, like it's the weird things that we in a different time now. So it's just kind of like um I don't know. We have the Lil Nas X's, we have the Frank Oceans, we have the Saucy Santanas, but I think the thing that is kind of unfair in the hip hop community when it comes to Black people is that once we get a queer artist, um, we now they're in dresses and wearing nail polish, and there's no disrespect to people who do that and that like that's who you truly are. But I think the stereotype is kind of unfair because there's so many artists who aren't out right and don't pertain to be like that. That's not who they naturally are. Like soon as I tell somebody about what I like to do in my bedroom, why do I have to wear a dress? Or why do I have to be twerking on the devil? I don't know. It was a weird type of thing that made it seem like um we gonna glitterize it, we gonna make it this
So,
sunshine, rainbows and shit. But that some people aren't genuinely like that. Like some people are more masculine. I only say that because I feel like when it came to certain artists like the Frank Oceans, they kept it masculine, but also kept it like very sacred to the artistry. And when we got the Lil Nas X's, it made it seem like it wasn't fluent, like it wasn't genuine, like it was a gimmick. It was something. And I don't believe the gay agenda. I don't believe in that shit. I only say that because you can tell when someone's being their authentic self compared to marketing. You know what I'm saying? To like, oh, to gain people's attention, to keep an eye on you. You know.
Yeah, I understand that. I have a follow-up question for you guys after, but like I said, I want Carnage to go ahead and hit this. Do you need me to read it again, or did you get it from the first two?
Yeah. I was. Yeah. I need you to do it.
Okay. Again. All right. So, as we said, in the hip hop industry, it has long been considered a hyper masculine industry, and it has been very unwelcoming to the LGBTQ artists that have tried to get into this industry. Now, having embraced this and understanding this, how have you navigated these stereotypes and what challenges have you faced? Now, before you answer, I also want to preface that I am talking to three men who, by all accounts, are masculine men. So the question I'm going to have is going to be to the dynamic between the masculine and the femme when it comes to the industry as well. But Carnage, go ahead and knock this out the park, and then I'm gonna circle back to that.
May I ask one quick question to add to that, right quick? I also wanted to know if you were ever out from the start, or did you come out later as well? And that's to everybody. So
Okay,
if you
we'll
could
pin that
answer,
on to the
if
other
you could,
question.
yeah, you could answer that in addition to your
Yeah.
response.
I was going to answer that all in one answer.
Okay.
All right.
So I started out not out the closet. Um, I didn't come out the closet until I had my stroke. That was 7 years ago.
Roughly, yeah.
So I didn't come out the closet until I had my stroke. So that would that would give you a inkling on how I live my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people knew about my I was gay. Some people didn't know. I didn't hide it or whatever, but it was just a unspoken factor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, now that um now that I think about it, people knew, but they didn't want to test me on. Um,
Yeah, I think your size and weight, size and height made a factor.
yeah, I get it. Anyway, um, so um, so I was uh in hindsight um when I was aspiring to be a rapper, I was doing not macho shit, but all I talked about was girls if I talked about anything sexual wise. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, and if we had my brother on the podcast, you know my brother Terrence.
Yes.
If we had him on the podcast, he would say, um, all he was saying was right, but we knew what it was.
So
uh,
they knew you were hiding.
yeah, my closest people knew. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I couldn't hide that from them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, 70%. Well, well, not 100% of my career because I was um, I didn't do anything uh, before my stroke, after my stroke. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Um, so I lived all my life in the closet or whatever, and I I say I was maybe 50% and 50%. I'll say I could live my life in the closet, and I was like, but maybe I could be the first person to go as far as out of the closet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
know, so that was my journey or whatever. But in hindsight, I had a stroke, and that's what stopped me or whatever. So um, I'm getting back into that or whatever. So I'm definitely going, okay, yes, I'm out or whatever because I told my mother, you know what I'm saying? I told my father or whatever. So I don't care where, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I come out as anything, that's gonna be it. I'm gay or bi or whatever, and take me how you feel.
All right, that's what's up. Now, to what I was going to say, because I was going to go back to what Devi had mentioned, and that stuck out in my mind. When you were referencing Lil Nas X and artists like him who are on the complete other side and are more femme and they are doing well and things like that, do you think that if you are going to be in the hip hop industry, that it profits you more to be on the more femme side of it when it comes to it? Because you do like you said with Saucy Santana and artists like that. Do you feel that if you come out as a gay artist or an LGBTQ artist, that you have to go in that lane? Do you feel like if you stick with, again, you all are naturally masculine men. So if you feel like if you stick in your lane, do you then feel like people are saying you are being an imposter, you know what I'm saying, by continuing to be who you are? Or do you feel like you have to create this persona of being this like hyper gay character in order to then make it in the industry because that is what is now really like selling in terms of artists? Not 100%, but it is something that's more noticeable.
Who you want to answer it first?
Oh, same rotation. Bone, Devi, Carnage. I keep it simple.
And I answer
De-
the floor just so you
Devi, go ahead. You get started first, bro. I'll get the turnaround.
um, so I think that's a crazy, not a crazy, but I think that's a tough question because, like you just said, right? You said put up, create an image,
Right,
create a character, instead of authentically be yourself. That only lasts for so long. You know what I'm
right,
saying? That only lasts as long as the marketing and the team around it put enough work and energy into it. And then sometimes even with the energy and the work put into it, it's it still can fall short because we also see that outcome now with the same person you mentioned, Little Nas X, or the person I mentioned earlier. He's not as popular as he once was.
true.
Um, and it's not saying it's anybody's fault. It's the gimmicks. When you can kind of see something, because how did he go from what's the song called? Old
Old
Town
Country
Road.
Road, yeah.
Yeah,
Old Country
how you
Road,
go from this
Montero,
song
exactly.
to Call Me by Your Name. And don't get me wrong, I like Call Me by Your Name. Like I
Yeah,
actually enjoy the song, Monterio or whatever. I enjoy the song, but when it comes down to the visuals and what exactly you're selling yourself as, it's kind of like um I don't know. When it's different when you are naturally like that. If you because you said to have to present yourself as a feminine person, like this cartoon character, this character. Um,
right,
to be honest, being a hip hop artist, that's a persona as well. You already created the persona. Um, the thing now you got to put another staple on it that I like. You know, much more than what who I naturally am, and I think that's an issue when it comes to the world we live in, society as a norm. The stigma, the bullshit that we also have to deal with on a day to day basis. Like, Just because I'm a black person, that don't mean I have to have a do rag on. Just because I'm gay, that don't mean that I have to have this type of image. Like, right? That's a stick. That's a
Real
I
shit
like
though.
anime and fucking
Real shit though.
cartoons and all this type of shit. I don't watch BET and I don't even like fucking watermelon. Like I like chicken, but I don't like watermelon. Like
Oh my
it's,
god.
Let's be clear. You don't like BET because you wasn't alive when BET
no, I
was.
was alive at the 106 Park era when it was good, when it was like early 2000s. I remember that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I was around. I grew up and remember everything. But I'm talking about now, just to be honest, than this shit now. It's just it's such a stereotype when it comes to that type of idea of an artist. But that's why I like certain artists. Like, okay, let me use this as an example. Like, we have artists like female queer artists, right? We have the Doechis, we have the Ombre shit, even like the Mickeys or whatever. But it's such a different staple when we have queer male black artists. Um, like we have to put up more feminine facade, and that can go so far back to like slavery and a lot of other shit that a lot of people don't know. They try to demasculate the black man. And it's been before rap. It was in movies. How Dave Chappelle was talking about it with Oprah, like how they wanted him to be in a dress and all that shit. Like, so it's a conversation that goes far beyond music, far beyond just television in general. That's why it's a tough question, because it is a stereo. It is bullshit behind it. I don't mind somebody being their natural, authentic self if that's who you genuinely are. But I feel like, if these are the stepping grounds we have to take in order to get the recognition that yes, I am a queer person, that's unfair. If this isn't who I truly am, but that's why it became so hard to be a queer person in the hip hop community, because of the stereotypes, because of the toxic masculinity, because of the homophobia, because of so much shit that we've dealt with before it became cool to be considered gay. Now, being gay is a cool thing. Like, I literally was at work not too long ago, and this old head was like, it's given this and that. I'm like, bro, you don't even know where that slang come from. Like, you don't know that come from the gay community. Like,
And I really hate that when I see straight people using gay slang, and
using
it's
gay
like,
slang and
you
don't
have
know.
no idea where that came from to use it like that.
Yeah, so that's my answer. Like, it's a lot, but I don't know. It's a tough situation. Like, it's crazy. Like, the time we live in right now. Like, it's more accepting, but it's still like this facade. Like, you still have to put on the mask if this isn't who you genuinely are. And it seems like it's like that with the people who are publicly in front of us. Like, cause we know about gay actors and black, white, or queer, or whatever. We know about other gay celebrities that aren't in the hip hop field, that aren't in the field of all in your face. You know what I'm saying? Something that you will see on a day to day. They don't have to be presented as overly queer or overly feminine and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that comedian who came out not too long ago. He's still more masculine presenting, whatever he may do or say in his jokes. It didn't give off this like over the top agenda, or what people would say it is. That's all I'm saying. Like, when it came to music, we in your face with it, so they wanted to make us more, I guess, colorful. I don't know. Like, it's weird.
Comfortability level is where that's at. You speak into like certain comfortability levels that certain people are able to deal with. And when you have a man that is masculine presenting, that does not give you any indicators that they like the same gender, for some reason it makes folks uncomfortable.
But
And to have to put on a facade or a minstrel show in order to be successful is not something a person, I don't know. It's something that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't want to risk the integrity of myself. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror having to put on a fake face to get a check. I
Right.
get it. Some people do that, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. That's your comfortability level, and that's awesome.
But
Get
that
your check,
also
boo
goes
boo.
back to the homophobia that is rooted in black community
Right.
amongst black men. You know what I'm saying? That everything
It just
masculine is supposed to be good and everything feminine is supposed to be like bad or fucking ever.
it's that's not even an
Hold on,
indicator,
Henry,
and
are you
that's not
muted? Because
even.
we can't hear you. I think, yeah, are you muted? Because we can't hear you. And I think you've talked a couple of times.
I was trying to cut in, but everybody was talking because I had a question. But go ahead, y'all.
Yes, something going on. I'm in the John. But what were you getting ready to say? I really want to try to get your opinion because you were trying to talk. So just let me try to segue just 1 second.
It was in lieu of what Devi was saying, and this was to everybody. But I kind of feel like when you're an artist, whether it's music, acting, or anything, don't you kind of feel like there is a bit of facade that you put on when you perform? Like it's not saying that you need to put on pink furry pants like Little Nas in the last video I saw. But I feel like when you get on stage or whatever, you are bringing a persona to the group,
Yeah,
and it's
that's why I said that. That it
as
is a
well.
persona. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like it is still not. It may not always be completely true to who you are at home, but you have to put on a show. So I feel like it just depends on what level that you take it to. So some people feel and how authentic it feels to you, I guess. But I feel like some people may feel like a saucy Santana. I feel like that might be authentically who he is at
Yeah,
home
that's
and
why I
on.
said it don't matter who
But
you are, you know.
yeah,
But
because like a Beyonce, she is not who she is on stage when she's off stage. But I feel like as a
So,
performer, you put on a persona when you step on stage
so
versus who you are at home.
I feel that I feel that questions varies on the artist you ask. Um, I wasn't given anything that I wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Um, if I talked about it, I grew up in the era if if you talked about it, you had to if you rapped it, you had to live it. That's it. So if I rapped it or whatever, clearly I wasn't saying I would I would sleep with your man or whatever, but uh I kept that in the cup or whatever, but
Right? Because it
clearly
ain't like it ain't true, bitch. You was.
anyway.
Oh, anyway.
um
Hide your husbands, honey.
anyway, but if I wrapped it or whatever, I talk about it. If I wrapped it, I would go up on your girl or whatever and see what's up or whatever. I
Hide your
would do
girlfriends too.
I would do it if I got up the nerve to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but um, that was it. But I chose selectively what I rapped about. That's all.
Okay. I like the responses from all that. I like the direction that took from Devi's response. Hemi,
Wait, you didn't you didn't see what Bone thought about
I was about to ask, like, bro, what you
oh
think?
yes, I'm so sorry. Y'all got to help me out because I'm trying to keep flow.
that. Yeah, I
Thank
know.
you guys. Just yeah, please help. Thank you so much. I don't want to leave anybody out. I yes, thank you so much. Come on back, big dog.
Oh nah, we good. I
Hey,
don't know. I was just starting to say earlier, man, that you shouldn't have to put on a minstrel show in order to be successful, and you shouldn't have to alter or be hyper masculine or hyper feminine in order to be successful. I think it should come through the work ethic and what you do. Um, but that was all. That was my last little thing I had to say. I'm Gucci.
So let me ask you. So let me ask you this
Talk to me.
again. So when you were in your out hip hop time, and you had artists that were masculine like yourself, and then that were on the other side of the spectrum. How did you walk with those artists? Excuse me. Ooh, indigestion, honey. So I'm assuming it was arm in arm. But did you ever feel like you had to put distance between you and a particular artist because of that? Because masculinity, like you say, in the community, it is praised. So you were looked more as a more wanted rapper in that time as opposed to someone that was more femme. So did you put distance between you and said rapper, or did you try to merge that gap? You know what I'm saying? Because you knew you were more popular than that rapper.
N- For
Uh,
from I
wait,
don't
wait,
know. Wait,
wait,
so I
wait.
just want to make sure that I understand what you're saying clearly. So you were asking during my time, did I align myself with our artists who may have been more femme presenting? Am I
Yes.
understanding you correctly?
Yes.
All right. So honestly, I think it was all on, what we related to. And I didn't really judge whether it was femme or masculine. I was more, can you spit? I had a different type of thinking.
Yeah.
I came from that battle base. So it was just a little different. Now, to say that I had a whole bunch of feminine folks around me, I did, but I didn't. You know what I mean? But I didn't show no shade to my folks because at that time of my life, I was just around everybody, bro.
So let me ask you this question real quick. Uh, when you first started rapping, you were saying, "Okay, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be a gay artist, or what?"
Nah, so when I first started doing music, I was just doing music. I wasn't out at that time. I was in the battle scene and stuff like that. So doing out music or anything like that at that moment in time of my life really wasn't a forethought until like I got the inspiration further down the line.
Okay. Um, so I don't know if you know. I may have told you this before, but I've been watching you for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in the same aspect of trying to get out or whatever. So I was watching certain people or whatever, and you was one of the ones I was watching. But I didn't say nothing to you because the 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 brolic aspect of it, like um
He said the what?
the
He said the Raleigh.
the brolic aspect of it.
Brolic.
I was like, I see you, but nigga, like, yeah, I'm here too.
I get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
So I was watching him for a while, but I just didn't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
All right.
Sean did.
Hemi, I threw to you. Yeah.
So I'm just my questions are kind of inspired by up and coming artists who might be watching this and what knowledge y'all can give to them because you all have been doing this for a while. Um, but I in researching y'all, I saw videos you've done and things, music videos and things like that you've done. And being that you all are more on the independent side of kind of putting out your own music and things like that, what does it take to get a video done? Like, is all this money coming out of your pocket? Like, where do you find people to edit, or do you do this yourself? Like, is there ways to fundraise money? Like, how are you getting this done? Whoever wants to go first.
Um, for me, I've met people at showcases that are videographers or photographers that usually were fans of my work and was like, "Hey, I would love to shoot a music video for you." And they were charged, and I would just use my paycheck, money from my paycheck to pay for it. Some people be cool enough to let you like pay for pay in advance or like half here, half there. The videographer I've been working with as of late, or my last videographer, or the last video I put out. I've been working with him for a good little minute now. Um, yeah, so and that's
So
when
is that some? Is he someone that people could just randomly reach out to, or
no, I met him at a show. His name was Ryan Detroit, cool guy.
okay?
I met him at a show, and I was performing, and when I got off the stage, he was like, "Hey man, I'm here because I came to support my friend. The white guy over there. Yeah, a little white guy over there because he's a white guy too." And he was like, "Yeah, but I saw your name on a flyer, and I was like, yo, I know this guy because he said he heard my music from like SoundCloud or whatever." And this was like back in the day. This before I put out any of that. And he just was like, "Why didn't you do Her Sorrows His Regrets?" He told like asked me why I didn't perform a certain song from one of my projects, and I was like, "Oh shit, you know that song?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's my shit." So from that point, he was holding the camera too. So he was like, "Yeah, man, if you want to work with me, man, I do music videos and shit like that." But my first ever music video I put out, bad, bad, bad. I met one of my homies. Her name Beans. I met her at a group. It's called Friends Who Do Dope Shit, and she was like kind of like one of the background people with the group or whatever. And we just got cool smoking one day, and she told me she did videos and like photography, photo shoots and shit. And it was just like that. Like I just kind of networked a little bit. You got to really kind of put your foot in the water and talk to people. Um,
Um, real quick, is that still going on?
what
Friend that
doing
friends
dumb
that
shit?
do those shit.
No, it's not around anymore. This was like
Oh,
2000. This was before COVID. I think this was like 2017, 2018. And it was that's when I met Beans. That's when I met when I did my first music video. And I met Ryan at another showcase with Underground Detroit. And this was like early before 2020, and I've been like knowing these people for a minute, but I haven't put in like I have a music video in the books now. Like I have one that's in my phone, like in my little, in the cloud that I haven't even dropped that Ryan did to like some of my newer music, and I haven't put it out because it's like I'm just I'm trying to I'm working on this project and trying to perfect it, and I'm my biggest critic. I'm so strategic about what I do, and I be in my head about shit. So I'm like I'm not gonna put it out until I'm ready to put it out. So yeah.
Right,
Anybody else want to touch on that? I just
because all three of you have done music videos.
Yeah, I don't know. My experience with videos was kind of a little different, but it definitely was a key component of networking. Definitely doing open mics and just touching base with different people. That's actually how I got the one video I got done, the body language video that I got shot out in Minnesota with this videographer, and it definitely was an experience. Definitely like understanding like if you wanted to do certain things, what type of budget you had to have. If you wanted to be in certain places or have certain things in the video, you had to have permission and stuff like that. So it definitely was a learning experience. Because before we actually released this is the final edit of that video, the first one that was put up got took down pretty quick just because of certain things that was in there with like businesses and stuff like that that you couldn't have in there without their express permission and stuff like that. So um it can be expensive, but I also, as D said earlier, I really think like networking is key components of it. Just finding like-minded people who is kind of on the same path and that actually like is tapped in with what you're doing and like what you're doing. When you find people like that, it actually helps cut the expense because some of the times they kind of just want to work with you because it helps them gain the experience or something like that. And it's a great barter system that you could just utilize just from that networking and having somebody like that or somebody in school going to school for videography or something. So, you know. That's my take.
Now, Carnage, I know from personal experience, you shot your video yourself. I think you had one other person with you shooting.
How did that turn out? Because I haven't seen it.
And he will not be named.
Oh,
It was an ex friend. We're gonna move on from that. Not even the point. The point is, um, from your perspective, you shot your own video, so it was more grittier. It was more, not to say that Bones wasn't or that Devi's isn't. You know, when I, because I like the styles of all of your videos, but I'm just speaking from a perspective of you know, they had folks that worked with them, whereas you produced yours. So what's the difference that you found in doing yours solo as opposed to having videographers and things like that?
Um, the difference is um the the um the things that I was privy to growing up. So if I wasn't privy to um I wasn't privy to um um audio or whatever, as far as, you know what I'm saying, um um I wouldn't have known to put the audio in there. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm saying I did this on my own, and um, not to say it's, uh, it, not to say it's no slight on anything, but I did this on my own. Um, uh, I did the editing. I did
Talk directly into the mic, big guy. I can't hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I did this on my own. I had multiple people shooting this video or whatever. But I did this on my own.
We
Um,
get that. You said it like four times. Like,
yeah,
um,
I know. I'm drunk, but
I
anyway,
think what I think you're getting at is like you have had previous knowledge from going to schools like Full Sail, where you majored in music, so you already had an audio background. You already had skills in music production that aided you in making this video. So you were able to have a lot of creative control because you already had a background in understanding what it took to produce something like this. So when you chose
um,
locations and things like that, you had those particular things in mind, right?
so I went to Full Sail because I was doing shit like that. Um, I was um, I was like 16 or 17 making videos. You know what I'm saying? I just put all of that together. Oh, I was like, oh, this is how they make videos or whatever. And I know that how to do that because I know how to do this. Or you know what I'm saying?
So skills you acquired over time
Yeah,
helped you to have the knowledge to produce your own video.
yeah, that's all. And clearly I didn't acquire enough knowledge to propel to greater heights.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. I would. That's my story. You know what I'm saying.
All right. Hemi, my co-host, do you have any other questions you want to ask our folks here, my friend?
You muted.
really? Can y'all not hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
Oh, I can press mute. No. Right now, I just really appreciated that they came on. Big thing was to pick their brains about how the music industry works and those types of things. Um, because I feel like they can inspire other people to follow in your footsteps. So that was really what I wanted to have them bring to the table today.
Yeah, I really do appreciate you guys being here. I think it was a great roundtable discussion. I do have one closing question that we're going to round this out with. So, and again, this is going to be for whoever decides to speak first. So, looking to the future of hip hop. There we go. If you could change one thing about the hip hop industry for LGBTQ artists that are up and coming, what would it be? And what advice would you give to the next generation of queer rappers that are coming behind y'all?
Easy, equal footing, equal vision, just equality, period. And then for those that's trying to do it and come up and do your thing, fuck what anybody think. Put out your music, even when you feel like you've been putting it together for 6 months and it just ain't right. Put your music out because you know what? Somebody's gonna be able to resonate with where you was at in that moment and the reason why you actually put that music and that piece together. That's your art. That's your story. So just put it out. You know what I mean? And don't let nobody discourage you from doing that. So that's I'm gonna leave off on that.
All right.
Um, for me, I would like to say like read them contracts, gang. Uh, uh, nah. I mean, we would love, like he said, like Bone said, for real, we love equality. You know, everybody get paid fairly. Um, and allow, hopefully, there's room for people to just be themselves, regardless of regardless of things that just seem like a marketing scheme or I'm trying to sound professional. When I was trying to diss other, when I was,
Why? Just be yourself, boy.
no. Like, it's just I don't know. Like,
Speak from your
fuck
heart.
all the gimmicks, fuck all the bullshit. Like, right? Give us something that's from the heart. Give us something that actually is you. That's what will help people connect to you as an artist when they can feel like they can connect to you as a person. And as I said earlier, read them fucking contracts, bro. Like these contracts don't be worth it. You usually can do it by yourself. Don't be afraid to get weird. Don't be afraid to speak out, express yourself, do some networking. Because this is, a lot of us can come up easily by just making a TikTok video, for real. So it's just a different space right now, and I'm hoping that we have better outlets to showcase people in the LGBT spaces, better community, better understanding of and respect for one another. So, and my cat wanted to get in the video. So, and who been in the way this whole time, like.
They're for the pet owners there.
Oh my god, that's another
And I knew he was going to react. I
fish.
knew he was going to react.
His name is Yomi. His name is Tosuku Yomi from Naruto, but I call him Yomi.
Oh, that's
Oh, and it's a new return. Oh yes,
oh,
yes,
Lord.
He's like a
yes.
big baby. He was at the door scratching. I don't know if y'all heard it. That's why I had to get
No,
up.
I didn't.
Yeah, I had to open the door because he was gonna be mad. Like, yeah, yeah, bro.
Yeah,
Carnage, do you
I
have
had to shut
any?
mine up. I'm sorry. Oh.
Carnage, do you have any? Your answer as
Closing
well.
thoughts.
Yeah. So being somebody who has lived, uh, y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good.
Being somebody who's lived through
You mean
depression
transition is what you were saying?
and all of it, I was saying what um Bone was saying and what Nappy Devi was saying, and I was uh, combining the two.
Okay.
Read through your contract. You know what I'm saying? That's the first part. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do this legally, if you don't want to do it legally, you can do whatever. But if you want to do it legally, you put in your contract. But um, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I lived through that, and I can actually say yes, I was fucked up on how I was looking at it. I should just be. I should have just be myself. But
Okay.
that was the hard lesson learned for me.
I mean, I think it's a lesson that everybody learns when it comes to being in the music industry or any industry, that puts you in front of other people. It is definitely that question of how authentic can you be with the public. And when it comes to being a gay artist of any kind, you do draw a thin line of how much you can share or what you're willing to share. Some people are okay with letting it all be out, and some people would prefer to live a more reserved life. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it is up to you. You know, as we bring this show to a close, I want to give the guys a chance to plug what you have going on, your socials, things of that nature. Where can people find you, reach you, listen to your music? Go on, and give it to them.
Um, well, my name is Nappi Devi. You can find me on all socials at Nappi Devi. Nappi. That's Nappy with an I, not a Y. It's two P's.
Oh, Shazam got it wrong.
Yep.
It's okay. But no, not with an I, not a Y. We never asked why. Uh, and I'm currently working on something. I don't have a date yet. I don't know when I'll drop it. Um, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. Like I'm working on an album, first ever album, me too. So that's like it's always been like mixtapes, EPs, and like little projects and shit. But I never put an album out. So that's something I want to do. So that's what I'm working towards doing. But I don't have any date. So we'll see when it comes out.
Okay. All right. And where can people listen to your music now?
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, Tidal, Amazon, everywhere, all
All right.
platforms, all platforms.
That's awesome. Big Bone. What you got popping?
Man, nowadays your boy's just DJing and producing, man, hitting this live stream world. So make sure you just follow on my socials at Bone and Tell, the way you see it on the screen, all one word. Come hit me up on that Rainbow app. Come hit me up on TikTok. We're gonna be on there a day for the next 75 days before they finally decide to cancel that bitch. You know what I mean? But
Right.
we play all music, hip hop, house, all of that, and we do an independent hour. So for them independent artists, man, if you got music, definitely make sure you come tap in, shoot it my way. You definitely want to get that out there, man, because it be lit. But again, my socials, man, just so y'all know, at Bonentell, at BONEINTELL, man. Come tap in with you.
All right. 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 Well, this was an amazing, amazing episode. I want to thank you guys so much. I want to shoot it over to my co-host
Wait,
Emmy.
where can they find Carnage? Does he have? You
I
keep
didn't
we
know if you
keep
wanted to do
leaving him
that or
out.
not. I don't know if you got
Well,
anything going
you
on
didn't
right
give
now.
him a chance.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I just so used to being my producer. I just
I
OG
don't
know
know.
we
Funny.
keep forgetting. We apologize, but Carnage, I remember this time.
Please,
Is there
It ain't
anything
us.
you wanna?
Sam,
Where
please
can
put
we
him on the
find you?
big.
It's
Yes, thank you,
homie.
Emmy.
Bring me up on the screen.
On the jumbotron. Go ahead, give him the jumbo action.
Um, 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 we didn't plan anything as far as oh, okay. Um,
There you
Right. Let's go ahead, put it in there. Put it is what it is. Yes,
go.
that is who you are.
Is it Mr. Anderson like the Matrix?
That's where it gets it from. Yes,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
it's his last
So
name. So
um, through my life or whatever, I was a rapper, and I still am a rapper or whatever. I'm just going through a phase or whatever, but I will put out, um, I will put out some more shit, things, um, in the future. Um, you can, um, follow me on Carnage Reacts. I don't have anything posted yet or whatever, and that's on all platforms. But I don't have anything posted yet. But um, um, just wait. So yeah.
and then
Make him put something.
what'd you say, my
Uh,
friend?
Then we're gonna make him put something up.
Yes.
oh
You do have music that you have released. Can you tell us about
yeah.
it, right?
So I have music on. If you go to YouTube and type era, uh, uh damn, and that's one mistake that I fucked up on. But era and you got to put the a period in the thing. So E period air a
E
E,
period,
E
R period.
yeah a period aka Mister period Anderson, and that will bring my stuff up. Um, that will bring up my video stronger and my all my videos. So
Yeah.
Okay. I think we covered all the bases, didn't we? I think we got everybody. Yes, yes.
Yes.
yeah.
You
Oh, okay, wonderful. Yes. All right. Now, as I was saying, this was an amazing episode, and thank you to our guest, Intell Nappi Devi, and thank you to a special shout out to our producer King Carnage for giving his perspective. We definitely appreciate it, and we love you. We love all of you.
absolutely. Thank y'all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bone,
So
Bone, I followed you on the gram. I mean on TikTok and Facebook. So don't
there
hold
you
me.
go.
Don't hold
All
me.
right.
Indeed.
Okay, so if you want to keep up with us, you can go to our website, what'sthepoint.com. There you can watch old episodes, listen to old episodes. You can also keep up to date with anything going on with Hemi, myself, King Carnage, or Shazam. And we also all of our
Microphone went
socials.
weird.
Hmm?
Your microphone went out for a second.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. We having sound issues today. So you can support our podcast also by going to my website, artistic wizardry studios.com, where I sell all types of wonderful graphic design t-shirts. Um, as we always say, at artisticwizardrystudios.com, break the mold and be bold. I'm being very tongue-tied right now, and I'm not really sure why.
It's okay.
But to my co-host Tammy, please tell everybody where they can listen to us every Thursday.
Thursday at 11 a.m., you can listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to your podcast. And where can they watch us?
They can watch us every Friday morning at 11 a.m. on YouTube. And again, like I said, it'll be posted on our website. Thank you once again, everybody, for being with us. This was a great episode. And
Truly appreciate y'all.
as always, my co-host, please tell everybody what they can do.
Keep it classy, y'all.
Thank you
Till
so
next
much,
time.
everybody. Y'all take care. Oh, we're out. We're good. Yay.
You was on the struggle bus on the outro.
Man, that ending was killing me, girl. I don't know what happened. I really don't know what happened with that. I really don't.